Chicago, and I know that myself and Michael are plugging in on workshops together, so I don't think there's anything going on with anybody else. I don't know. You'll have to check in with your local leaders. But next weekend, Friday and Saturday, are the national regionals going on. So on Friday, we're having trench warfare training. Bob Snyder has put together people that are the best at selling Renatus for that Friday. So you're going to hear lead generation, talking to people, booking events, following up. Folks that are literally like Nate Lambert's training, Umair and Yaz are training, Zach and Sumario are training. These are trench warfare day, like in the trenches doing stuff. They're not having a guy like me who's, sitting back, overriding everything, training. People that are actually in the trenches doing the work training. It's going to be great. On Saturday, we're going to go local trainings. So here in Chicago, we're doing a training. So if you want to plug into that, if you're on our team, I will be covering a huge team building thing that I've been covering in the impact we've been perfecting. It's going to be great. 2021 is going to be fantastic because of it. The smart system is going to be trained on Saturday. But there's local events all over the country. Check your schedules, hang out with your leaders. We do have an awards banquet going on in this building for only 100 people we can have here in Illinois right now. So you might want to check in on that because it's almost full if you're close to Chicago. So, all right. And then again, get back in touch with the person who invited you here. If you're brand new, if you're a guest, checking this stuff out for the first time, get back in touch. We are a nationwide community. I myself personally have helped over 15,000 people get started in this program around the country. We've helped open up buildings all over the country. We have a really, really cool model to assist people in learning real estate investing and getting into real estate investing. And one of those people we're going to feature today. And by the way, I'm Scott Rowe. I'm in my Western suburb Chicago office. Maybe I should have said that first. So, yeah, it's been great building this since 2007 and just duplicating it all over the country. Now, let's talk about our special guest today. What we are doing at 1 o'clock Central Time, my time Central, I don't know what yours is, figure that out. But every day, myself and Michael, we got together and said, hey, let's feature a success story from the community and give people an idea of where they came from, what they thought of the program when they saw it. Like, I was like, are you kidding me, woman? When my wife actually introduced this to me, I was like, no, it's going to be a scam. Turned out to be the best thing in our lives. But I hear from where they came from, what they thought, what they've been able to do. And this woman right here, she is, she's awesome. I've known her for quite some time. She hails from the East Coast, but because of her lifestyle, she loves to be in Israel. She's everywhere. She's a jet setter. Rubbed elbows with some of the best, wealthiest folks on the East Coast, and didn't start in real estate. It was an idea that she came upon. So without further ado, to tell her story, I love her. She's one step away from being on the PAC, the President's Advisory Council, with the education company she's a part of. Please help me welcome Miss Tamara Book.
Awesome. Thank you, Scooty. It's so great to be here and so great to see you. It's been forever. I miss seeing all of our community across the country. And just having that collaboration. But you know what? I did not ever see myself getting into real estate investing. Not only did I not see myself getting into real estate investing, but I never expected to love what I'm doing nearly as much as I do now. So to give you a little bit of background, I actually come from the fashion entertainment industry. So absolutely nothing like real estate investing. It's been an amazing journey, but I'll tell you what led me to where I am and why I absolutely love being here. It's because I believe in it, right? So when I was in the fashion entertainment industry, hey, it's Nancy too, the dynamic duo. I miss you guys in 3030. So anyway, so I was in the fashion entertainment industry. I was working with some great names. I got the opportunity to work with Yankees, Stella McCartney, Piperline, USTA. However, I found myself working really long hours, achieving someone else's goals and not having time to achieve my own, right? Because what I grew up thinking was I'm going to get a great job and from that job, I'm going to make a lot of money and then have time to, start my own venture on the side. But what I found when I got to that time in my life is that I didn't have the time. In fact, I was so I spent so much time achieving other people's goals. When I found myself in stadiums more than I was ever had at home. So I said, this is not working. As much as I loved those experiences, it got old very quickly. And I said, I'm stuck in the rat race. This is exactly what it is. I'm stuck in the rat race. And this is not how I want to spend my time. Like Scooty said, I love to travel. I don't really like to be in, the fact that I've had to stay in New York for the past almost year has driven me up the wall. But you know, it's a learning experience. So I said, there's got to be a better way. I'm determined to find it. So I went back to school, right? I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. That was always my passion. So I went back to school. I got a business degree, and I did it abroad. I did an international business degree. And I came out and I did get into a little bit of a better position. So I was making more money, but guess what else that required? It required more of my time. So here I am still in the same place, trading my time for dollars. And I have a business degree from a top-notch university, only to find myself in the same position. And I was over it at that point. So I was with the last company for a year. I restructured it. I made them over $1 million, only for them to tell me that they don't give raises. That was how I translated it, because it was so little. And I said, I'm done. And I mentally just checked out, and I said, it's time for me to step out of my comfort zone. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, and I'm gonna figure it out, right? So that led me to real estate. I had a friend at the time. He said, and I was going to get into interior design. That was my plan. I was going to start an interior design business. So my friend said, get into real estate with me. Come walk through some houses, become financially free, then do whatever you want from your time. Work from wherever in the world you want. No one really talked to me like that before. It was entrepreneurial, it was financial freedom. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds good. Let's go walk through some properties. And I didn't expect to like it. I didn't really like it. But then when I was walking through the properties, he was telling me, buy properties, create passive income, and then do whatever you want with your time. And I was like, well, that's a different idea. I like it. Let's do it. So we kept going through these properties. So at the time, this was before I found Renata's, I was working with one person. And so everything I did relied on him. If he was out for the day, I didn't know what I was doing because I was very new and I didn't have education 24/7. I didn't have a community all over the country locally that I could plug into, that if this person wasn't available, that's okay, I can watch my classes. I didn't have those resources at the time. So I got frustrated. And I found a property. I was planning on wholesaling it. Thank goodness I never did. I stumbled into a meetup in New York that I was expecting to get investors like money. I was expecting to get money that they wanted to invest in this property. Little did I know what I was walking into. I sat through the meeting and I said, this system is much better than what I'm doing. I don't have to rely on one person, and they've got proven successful results and they have it all laid out. So I said, all right, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm in, let's do it. Literally, there's some people that will joke about this, but I was skeptical from the start. I got into the Epic combo, which was the biggest package. It took me 8 months. I was just explaining this on another training. In my heart, I believed it, but my head was like, what are you doing? You just got out of grad school. You're spending more money for education. You've never invested in real estate, but you're going to do this. So it took 8 months, and you'll hear some of our leaders say, this has to go from your head to your heart. And you'll also hear Scooty say, go to nationals, even if you have to crawl on glass. And I heard him saying that, and I said, all right, I just bought this package. Now they want me to go to nationals. What is this? And what did I get myself into? And I remember thinking that literally for months. And then it started to register. I started to take some of the classes. And at the time, I couldn't even speak to you about a mortgage. So I was as green as they come with this. So finally they said, just go to nationals. And I said, all right, listen, I'll go to nationals. At this point, I had no money. I was out of grad school, already just leveraged my credit to get into the combo. And I went to nationals really like closed arms. This is not going to be for me. I don't even know why I'm doing this. It completely changed my world. It completely changed my view on Renatas. I realized, A, it went from my head to my heart. B, that Renatas is not just, hey, let's flip some houses. Hey, let's get some real estate. It's a movement, right? We are bringing something to the world. People need financial freedom. People need financial education to get financial freedom. And we're offering that. The stuff that we're learning in our classes should be taught in schools, and it's not, right? So when I saw Renatas on a bigger level, that was where it really went from my head to my heart. And I said, you know, I'm so grateful that I didn't quit on this. I'm so grateful that I jumped in, right? I positioned myself in the beginning to have the most success. Now, the first 2 years were, you know, I've definitely had my challenges with this, but it's been worth every step of it. So the first 2 years, I focused solely on the marketing just because it was a little bit easier for me. And literally, I had to figure out this. It was like learning a new language for me. And I had to learn the language first and get a little bit more comfortable. I'm not really a numbers person, and I'm not super detail oriented. That's something that I've learned very, very quickly about myself. But the great thing is you can leverage people that have that skill set. So my business partner, for example, he's much more numbers oriented and much more detail oriented, but I'm really good on the business side and dealing with the money. So fast forward, I have done about 10 transactions in the past 2.5 years. And I have my HUD statements. I have just under about, I think somewhere around $800,000, just under $1 million worth of real estate right now. Most are rentals that cash flow somewhere between around $300, $400 a month. And then I own some land. So, you know, I'm really just kind of getting myself started. But, you know, it's also given me the time freedom and the ability to experience life. I love to travel. So, you know, I really have had the experience to work this business all over the world, right? Whether it's been Europe, Tel Aviv, like when we're not in the middle of a pandemic, I do not stay in the cold. So it's really enabled me to live the lifestyle of my dreams. And, you know, I feel like I'm just getting started with this. Everyone has their own learning curve, and you really have to embrace where you are and let yourself learn, right? Let yourself learn, make the mistakes. And then, you know, that's how you get to the next level from my experience, and take the classes. You know, I had one fix and flip that, you know, wasn't the best experience. And if I didn't have, you know, the education that I have, I could have potentially lost money, but we changed it into a lease option. And because we were able to do that, because we have that knowledge to have, to be more of a, I guess, a knowledgeable investor, I'm going to still walk away from that flip that could have potentially been a disaster with potentially a significant amount of money. And now I'm not going to get it as quickly as I wanted to, but that's okay. The fact is, we still redeemed the property because we had the knowledge to do so. So now I'm learning that I don't want to do fix and flips anymore. And I don't even really want to focus on single family rentals, but now I have the flexibility to add on notes to my portfolio, to add on multifamily, you know. And that's what happens when you, you know, as you grow as an investor and as an entrepreneur, you learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And in Renatas, you have the space and the flexibility and the knowledge to evolve and to take your business to the next level, because of, you know, all the resources you have available to you. So I also have raised over $2 million in private capital because of our education. I literally have taken, you know, our private and hard money class over and over and over again. And I continue to raise money. I have something else right now in the works. Talk to me in a couple weeks, but it's going to be a really great opportunity to take my business to the next level. And again, it's because I can continue to plug into my education and grow as an investor in different areas and different levels.
Awesome. Okay, so again, we're doing this every single day, Monday through Friday. Tamara is one of the examples of what's possible. What I love about the story is, you know, it isn't that I was successful right away. This is awesome. I made $1 million in my first. This is a group that actually supports you, right? Like we have events on a daily basis you can hang out with. We're not talking about this event. This is an event to kind of get across to you what some folks have been able to do, what they thought, right? We're talking about trainings. I run a training every single morning from 8 to 9, and I've done that since 2008 for anybody that wants to get on. We do weekly study groups all over the country. You can find a group. We're helping people open up communities around the idea. We have monthly workshops, but the idea is we have a saying, you're going to give up on you before we give up on you. We've been doing this since 2007. We keep doing it. So get back in touch with the person who invited you here, get to an intro meeting, get to a velocity banking session, get to a follow-up to get some questions answered, get to a workshop. The one thing about this group is it is so consistent and committed that, there's no quit on this group. And it's because it's a huge mastermind that just wants to, put its arms around people. So, all right, Tamara, I appreciate you guys. Skyler, is there anything I'm missing? You want to say anything you're covering for Michael?
Just one thing, I'm going to start posting these to the Team Elevate YouTube channel, just so that everyone can start accessing the recording. We've got some powerful stories, and so we're creating kind of a big journey, all these people's journeys, and we want to make sure that you have access to them. So I'll start posting them there so that people can get in and start sharing with folks, and just want to encourage people to keep plugging your guests into this meeting. It's just a fun place to hear about stories. We've got hundreds of them throughout the community. You know, when we do have these big national conferences, in the past, we brought up people on stage, you know, that have done over $100,000 in real estate, and the line was like out the door.
Yeah, that's
right.
A long line.
And, you know, those are the things that give you goosebumps, you know, make your heart sing. And that's what we're hoping to accomplish here. So just keep plugging back in, get to regionals, which is coming up on the 23rd and 24th of October. And we'll catch you again tomorrow.
Yep. And one last thing, get to an intro. We'll talk about, you heard Tamara talk about making money before she did real estate. So if you're interested in earning while you're learning, it was huge for me because I didn't have a job when I started. So I've never needed a job since I got to this thing because they allowed me to earn while I was learning, even before I did a deal. So get to an intro, get back in touch with the person who invited. That's the most important thing. Get back in touch with the person who invited you here so they can get you to something that features us talking about the structure. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Same bat channel.
Thanks, Tamara.